Brittany, where have you run off to? Mom and Dad have both been telling me that you're ignoring all their calls and texts. Did you forget what day today is, Brittany? Hey!
Shut up! Do you have any idea what time it is? I want to sleep in some more.
You know what time it is? It's almost noon now. And you have to go and meet with someone at 12 o'clock, right?
I have to meet with someone? Ah, now that you mention it, I do remember something about meeting with someone.
What do you mean you only just now remember something? What are you saying, Brittany? You were the one that wanted us to set you up with someone who you could potentially date, so Mom and Dad have been doing all they can to find you someone who wouldn't mind meeting you, right?
I was just on my way back home from my friend's wedding at the time and told everyone that I wanted to get married myself, that's all. And you were planning on getting married as well now too, so I just didn't want to be left out, that's it.
But you kept on pestering Dad about setting you up with someone, so he went out of his way to get you a date with the son of one of his customers' CEO. Right?
And about that, if I'm going to get married, I want it to be with someone who has loads of money. Which that guy totally has, but have you seen the pictures of him? The pictures of the guy Dad set me up with?
I did have a look at his picture once.
You think I'm going to want to marry some fat guy like that?
What?
I want to be with someone who actually cares about his health and figure a bit more than that guy. You know I like my men thin and handsome, right? No matter how much money the guy has, if he's not looking good to me, then I don't want him.
You don't want him? Did you ever tell Mom and Dad that then?
Well, it's already too late to tell them now. Telling them both about this now would not change the fact that the plans were already made.
Hold on a second. So you're not actually planning on going out to meet that guy today?
That's right. And it's not like I want anything to do with him. And if I go there and he develops feelings for me, that'll be a huge pain in my neck.
What are you talking about? You were the one asking over and over again to have Mom and Dad set you up with someone, and now that they've had a guy ready for you and everything, you're not going to tell them you don't want to see him anymore? No way, that's okay, Brittany. You should really tell Mom and Dad about this right now. I mean, this has to do with one of Dad's customers' sons. You understand that, right?
All right, if I really have to go out and meet this guy, then why don't you go to my place and meet with him?
I am not playing around about this right now. I happen to be engaged right now, right? There's no way I'm going to go out and see another man who isn't my fiancé.
It'll be fine. I happen to have your fiancé in my pocket anyway.
What the heck is that supposed to mean?
I might not want to go meet with that chubby guy, but that hasn't changed the fact that I want to get married, so I've made sure that I'll be the one getting married to your fiancé.
What did you just say?
That time you brought him over to meet your family, I've always thought he was really cute. I was always fine with the thought that having a good-looking brother-in-law would be nice, but I also thought his beauty would be wasted on you of all people, so I went and convinced him to give up on you and instead come and marry me.
Without me ever noticing. But as far as I'm aware, my fiancé has never said anything to me yet about wanting to marry you now.
Well, I was planning on moving in together today. The idea was, when I started having all my things moved into that room with you guys, then you'd be able to pick up on what was happening between your fiancé and I.
Huh?
It would have been a pain for us if you found out about all this before we set up all the plans, right? So, that's why the plan is to have you moved out of that apartment, and then I'll move in with him.
Are you kidding me? I never heard anything about this from either of you, though.
Well, that's why I told you it was being kept a secret between us. We wanted to make sure you wouldn't do anything about it until after I was already there with him.
Have you guys really been talking about all of this behind my back this whole time?
Yep. And that's why it is totally okay for you to go out and meet that guy Dad set up for me, since you no longer have a partner yourself. If anything, I'm being a really nice older sister by letting you go out with the man I was supposed to see today, right after you lost your fiancé, right?
How the hell are you even remotely close to a nice older sister? You not only are asking me to go out with this man you cried for Mom and Dad to set you up with, But you're asking me that after telling me that you've been going out with my fiancé this whole time and plan to live with him now.
Don't get so mad about it. I am going to make sure to become an amazing wife in your place for your fiancé, all right? Now you can go and be happy with that fat loser in my place. I'll be totally fine. He is a perfect match for someone like you. So now that I've told you about everything, let's both have a wonderful time with our partners.
You hold it right there, Britt. The man who is already in a relationship say no to her.
I don't think you understand how hard it is for me to say no to the one girl that I've been wanting to be with the most.
Do you have any idea why she was looking for a man in the first place? Because she said that she only wants to get married because I was planning to, and so have all her friends. Do you really think she's being serious with you right now?
Oh, you think I'm gonna fall for something like that? I'm sure she was getting jealous of everyone else, but that doesn't mean her love for me is fake. I get that all of this is hard for you since you just found out that I've dumped you for her, but don't start trying to get me all worried about the relationship I've been having with her. Brittany is a whole lot more cute than you, Maggie, and that's why I've left you. Now leave my love with her alone.
I'm done with this. I cannot figure out what actually drove you to do all of that, and I don't even want to anymore. I thought you were a better man than that, but I guess I was completely wrong. You actually went ahead and cheated on me while we've been engaged.
Well, if I'm such a terrible man, then after today, don't you ever come around Brittany or me! I'm so sorry for doing this to you, but there was nothing that could be done about it!
I know now that the reason for us having to call off our marriage is due to you cheating on me, so I'm going to get a settlement. Once I've gotten the money from you that I deserve, that'll be the end of me ever being around you. I'll make sure that I never even have to believe that either of you exist anymore.
You're getting a settlement from me, so you have been wanting my money.
I want for the both of you to see that what you've done is completely wrong. And that's why I'll be getting a settlement from you.
Go right ahead then. I've looked it up, and the amount you could even get from me for doing something like this is barely anything.
That's right, it is barely anything. But this isn't about me wanting money from you, but rather to teach you both. That's really great to hear.
Now for the second piece of news. I'm pregnant.
That is also great to hear.
This isn't the kinds of reactions I was hoping to get from you. A little dry, I think. Did you not just hear me say that you're going to have a niece or nephew now? And this means that Mom and Dad will be getting their first grandbaby. You should be way more excited for me.
I'm not excited about any of it, but I'll congratulate you. So, what's this third piece of news you have?
I plan on coming home to Mom and Dad's to have my baby there.
What? You're coming back to have your baby at Mom and Dad's? So you're actually coming back?
From what he has told me, his company is completely based online, which means he can do his work from anywhere in the world. So because of that, us two can go back to Mom and Dad's place. And we're both thinking of living with them long term.
3 years ago, I really thought you were one hell of a crazy sister. But even now, you're proving to me that you're still freaking crazy.
Well, my husband is building this business of his up, so he needs all the money he can get, right? It would be a waste to put our money into our house, so it's much better to just move back home with Mom and Dad. Then we'll have all the money he needs for that company, right? And above saving money, having the baby be around Mom all the time would really help me out a lot.
So, you plan to have both Mom and Dad be there to help you out?
Well, yeah. I'm giving them their first grandbaby after all, and the both of them have always spoiled me with anything I want, and this time I want to be home with them.
So, you really never came around to realizing just how much trouble you caused for all of us by running away with Devin?
I do think it was a bit wrong that I stole your fiancé from you at the time, but you're also to blame for letting me steal him, right? So, since you were in the wrong as well, do you mind leaving that house and letting my husband and I move into it with Mom and Dad?
Excuse me?
I'm pretty sure you're still living there with those two, feeding off all their money, right? After having your fiancé stolen from you, you've continued to be single. I plan on coming back to Mom and Dad and making them happy with their first grandbaby, so the freaking obstacle of a loser needs to get out of there.
We had that old house demolished, okay?
What? What do you mean their house was demolished?
I'm saying that the house has been destroyed and the land sold. Right now, there is no house on that plot of land.
Wait a second, what the heck? I never heard anything about that happening.
Ah, but from what I've heard is a realtor company bought the land and are going to build a new house on it.
Wait a sec, so you're telling me Mom and Dad's house isn't there anymore? Where the heck am I supposed to go home to now? Actually, where is Mom and Dad right now? Tell me where they went.
Dad ended up retiring from his job a little early last year, and with the money from that and from the land he sold, he took Mom with him and moved overseas. I think Vietnam?
They moved to Vietnam?
Those two have always loved the ocean, so they bought a really cheap house out by the ocean in Vietnam and have been living there. Every week, those two are sending me pictures of the new life they both have there, and man, does it look awesome. Those two are really happy now.
What the heck? I can't just get up and go overseas to be with them. Then where the heck are you? Weren't you living off Mom and Dad at their house all by your lonesome?
I had never been living off of Mom and Dad while I was in their house. I just happened to work for a company that was close to that old house. So they let me stay with them for a while as I worked. I had planned to move out of their place for good 3 years ago and stay in that apartment with Devin, but we both know what happened there. And as of right now, I'm living with my new husband.
You got married? You, my younger sister, got married?
And I hear you going on about how you're giving Mom and Dad their first grandbaby, but I had my first child last year. So Mom and Dad already have a grandbaby now.
You had a baby? You're lying, right? I mean, you lost your fiancé 3 years ago. 3 years! It has only been 3 years since you were thrown away by Devin.
And people are always saying that one man's trash is another man's treasure. Now, I'm not saying that the person who threw me away before was anything like a man, but after having been thrown away, I went with Mom and Dad to go see the man that was set up to go out with you. We wanted to say sorry for you being a no-show, but after we did that, we decided to sit down with him and chat while having lunch together.
Don't tell me you're with that ugly fatty. Did you actually marry a freak like that? I don't care that you got thrown away by Luke. You shouldn't go out with something like that after.
But you had recommended to me that I go out with him after you said you stole Devin from me. Well, I'm just going to show you what he looks like now to clear this air.
Who is that?
That happens to be my husband holding our son.
No freaking way! That guy looks nothing like that fat loser in those pictures I was shown. Had I known Dad set me up with a man like that, I would have never canceled on him. He is perfect for me.
He happened to get some work done on himself, as well as go through some skincare therapy. Also, at the time he was planning on going out with you, he had a lot of stress in his life. But now, he's a completely new-looking man. After he had finished up all his treatments and therapy, him and I got married, where I've now been treating him to all kinds of healthy foods. Looking at him now, you would never be able to tell he was that man from 3 years ago, but he didn't even stop after all those treatments. Do you want to know why he put on so much muscle? Right after telling him that I was pregnant, he told me he wanted his son to look just as good as him, but didn't think he would be able to get his son to be active and healthy. So he started going to the gym 6 days a week and turned himself into a macho man in order to influence our baby. He is a wonderful husband and father.
You are lying. I had thought for sure that he was a nobody, and I thought you having a baby with him would bring the birth of one of the most ugly-looking kids in America. Wait, now that I remember this, is that same guy that you and Dad were saying has a father that's a CEO?
That's right. And as of right now, he's taking on his dad's position now that his dad is retiring. But that's not all, as right after becoming the CEO, he took his dad's company even further and made it an extra $2 billion this year.
So he's not just the son of the CEO that got put into that position, but he actually knows how to run the company?
He really is.
Where are you living right now, Maggie?
We're living in a very secure penthouse.
A penthouse? I'm going there right now. I'm going to stay there and have the baby at your place.
I believe 3 years ago we made the promise to never come around one another again, right? So it's not going to happen.
Well, I'm saying it's fine for us to meet now, so let's bring things back to the way they were in the past and live together in peace again, okay? All right?
I don't think you and I were ever living in peace with one another, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What? What are you talking about? You and I had some of the best times together as sisters, right?
You think so? Even though you would always get away with doing whatever you wanted, and then force me to take over for all your responsibilities, even though you would always take my things from me without asking and then say that I lost them. I have still not forgotten about how back in high school, when I graduated, Dad gave me that really nice watch, but right before I was going to wear it, you took it from me and broke it.
Back then, I was just a wild young little girl.
No, you were way too old by then to be acting like that. You told me after stealing Devin away from me that I should do my best to be happy with whatever man I found, right? Well, look. I have become very happy with my husband, and we have a house and family and everything. You said that we would both work to become happy, and look where we're at. I am living the best life I can live right now, so you just need to try a little harder to be on my level.
Wait, are you not going to help me?
You know I don't have to help you, right?
But I was planning on having Mom and Dad be the ones to pay for everything I needed and house us. Right now, we don't have any money in our savings.
How about you ask Devin's family to help you out then? His parents only ever had one kid, Devin, so this is going to be their first grandbaby, right? Aren't they going to be so happy to have you both living with them?
3 years ago, both his parents cut ties to us. They were both furious with us over having Devin leave you for me. Devin tried so hard to get them to understand us, but they kept telling us to never come back to them again. We can't ask for their help now. So right now, the only person I can rely on is you, Maggie.
And you think after what you did to me 3 years ago, you can come back asking me to help? Wild. Well, I'm sorry. Did we decide that every Wednesday is supposed to be a fried chicken day?
Would you put a little thought into things for me, please? Wednesday happens to be the middle of the week, right? And there's only another 2 days left of work before I'm able to have my weekend. In other words, that means I want to eat something fried and with a lot of exciting flavor to it. That excitement will then leave me with enough energy to get through Thursday and Friday, and I'll be at the weekend after that. So I need to have that zing to my day today, or else I won't be able to make it through my week.
But last week, when it was the middle of the week, you told me you wanted something a little more relaxing so that you could have time to calm down and finish the rest of your week right.
That was me then, and this is me now. Why do you always have to bring up the past when we're in the present now?
What?
All right? You're my wife, and that means every day you ought to look at how I'm feeling before I head into work and decide what to make me based off that. So you'd better start doing that right now.
Hold on a minute, Kevin. I'm working a job myself, right? And that means I don't always have the time to think about every little detail regarding you and your wants. If you have something you'd like to eat, please tell me a day or two before, or at the very least on the morning of, okay? But even on the day of, I'll most likely have to go back to the store after I finish work and put even more money that we don't really have into groceries.
You can make time to get me what I want. You barely even work enough hours in a day to make any money, so you have all the time in the world to think about me. You're just trying to be a selfish little brat right now. I have to work full-time, 40 hours or more a week, and you think you having to work that small job is gonna have me listening to you? Forget it! You're better off just leaving that job and staying home all day to get your real job done, cleaning and cooking.
I'd really love to work full-time, though.
But if you started to work full-time, then you'd never be home in time before me to make my favorite dinners and get the bath ready for me. You are more than okay living off the money I bring in, so there's no need for you to be working at all.
Well, if you don't want me working anymore, could you raise the amount of money I get to spend on groceries in the house a bit more? To be honest, with the amount you give me now, it's a little tough to afford everything. Right now, I'm having to use the money I'm making to balance things out so that I can afford all the things we both need.
Are you a freaking idiot or something? That right there is you telling me you're such an idiot that you don't even know how to balance out your checkbook to make ends meet with what I'm giving you.
Why would you say things like that? I have been putting in a lot of work balancing things out with my money and yours. But I can't just give you the food you want 3 hours before dinner without having to go back to the store to spend more money on buying more food. You have to see that with the money I have now, the best way to spend it well is to only stop at the store once or twice a week and buy everything then.
But by doing that, you're putting good food to waste. None of it is going to be fresh like I want, and as the husband of the house, I only want to be eating the freshest foods. You are really making a fool of yourself here. And with that, dinner today is going to be fried chicken.
And I just told you a little bit ago that I've already started making something else for dinner, and that there is no changing what's for dinner now.
Well then, scrap all that you've started on now and make me that fried chicken instead!
Well, I'm on my way back to my parents' house at the moment anyway, so that's not going to happen.
Huh? You're going to your parents' house?
Yesterday, my mom had a bad fall and ended up breaking her arm while trying to comfort her fall. We talked about this already, right? And because of that, it's been hard for her at home. So right after work today, I already got dinner going in the crock pot for you, and it will be ready by dinner time. So I'm on my way to see my mom for a bit, and I'll be back home later.
You're going there now? No! Hey! The reason I'm allowing you not to have to work a whole lot right now is not to let you go to your parents and spoil them!
I am not doing this to spoil them. I am going there to make sure the chores can get done for my mom.
Let me tell you this right now. If I get home and my dinner isn't ready and the bath isn't hot, things are going to be bad for you.
I plan to be back home by the time you get out of work, all right?
I'm not allowing that.
What? What do you mean you're not allowing this?
I'm not allowing you to go to your parents' house today. You come back to our house right now and get back to making my dinner properly and finishing up any other chores you have there. You listen to what I'm saying right now, woman!
Hold it! I will make sure everything is done properly today, okay? Is it so bad for me to go over and help my mom out a little in the meantime? My mom is living on her own now.
Well, you happen to have an older sister living a lot closer to her house, right?
And this week, she's been on vacation with her family because she has time off work.
Then ask someone in her neighborhood to help her.
Someone in her neighborhood? There is nobody living close enough to her out there in the countryside for me to ask to go help her. That's why I'm on my way to her place now. I'm also just worried about how my mom is doing and want to see her with my own eyes.
You are a part of my family now, and you're my wife, which means that my family comes first, and I'm like your king. So that means you will listen to me before anyone else, and will only pay attention to me and my side of the family.
Are you kidding?
If you keep this up, I'm gonna do the same thing your dad did to your mom and divorce you.
Excuse me?
If you don't want me divorcing you, then listen to what I'm saying. You don't want to end up like your mom, being thrown away by her husband and left for dead, right? If you still plan on going to her house, I'm gonna print off the divorce paperwork and fill it all out. Now, I'm getting back to work. I really hope you make the right choice and come back home to make me that fried chicken I've asked for. Hey, Fia. Where are you right now? You have to answer your husband's calls before he gets to 3, or else you'll be in trouble, all right?
I'm on my way home now. Did something happen to you?
Huh? You're coming home now? What the hell are you thinking? I'm already at home now.
What? What do you mean you're at the house already? It's only 5 p.m. What the heck happened to you that caused you to have to be home this early? Did you start to feel sick?
Not really. I was just out on my break at work and was told that I could head home right from there. I guess I had nothing else to get done today at work, so I chose to go home like they said.
You were out on your break when they said that. I thought you told me you didn't really have breaks there anymore after being moved into the sales department, right?
Well, about that. There are a lot of things going on at the office right now. Now let's talk about dinner.
Once I get home, I'll get right on it.
You freaking slowpoke. I've told you this plenty of times now. I want you home when I'm home from work, and for you to have dinner and the bath ready for me. I'm the one bringing in the money for this house, so the least you can do is feed me and get things ready for me to rewind after my day in the office. Are you trying to tell me you want a divorce?
Why would something like this immediately lead to you wanting to talk about a divorce?
If you don't want to be divorced like your mom was, then you need to stop making me pissed off. All right then, I'm gonna go get that paperwork right now.
What?
I don't think you're afraid enough of me yet. I think by having the divorce papers in my hands at all times, filled out, that'll get you really worked up about things and make you want to act serious about your chores, right?
You have to be joking, right? Divorce is not something you should be using as a way to threaten your wife all the time.
I'm not just threatening you because I will seriously hand them in. I'm ready for it if you are. With you out of the house, I won't be in any trouble, unlike you.
You would seriously hand those in? Are you not even thinking about working together with your wife anymore to make this relationship we have last?
You think I would work together with you and continue this relationship? All you are to me is a simple wife. You have no idea how many women there are just like you in this world.
Understood. Only 20 more minutes or so and I'll be at the house.
Then during that 20 minutes, I'm gonna stop by the courthouse and get those divorce papers. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing not coming back to the house for 3 whole days? I told you not to worry about your mom anymore, right? I saw you leaving the house with those big bags, saying you were dropping them off at your mom's place. But for these past few days, you haven't come back here to do the laundry or cook me any food. Are you listening to me? How much longer do you plan on hiding at your mom's? Hurry up and come back here so you can take care of your husband.
Excuse me, but who am I talking to right now?
Ah! Stop with the freaking BS! You know dang well that I'm your husband!
But I'm a single woman now.
What the hell did you just say?
I handed in my divorce papers 3 days ago, and then I became single again.
Divorce papers?
But you and I had both signed them, all right? Well, I took all of those into the courthouse to be processed for us.
Wait a sec. I never heard anything from you about you handing in those papers, though.
But you signed them with me, and you said you wanted a divorce, right?
Wait, but you handed those in without my approval is messed up! I only had those signed by the both of us in order to get you to worry more!
But I wanted to divorce you then. And having you go out and get everything set up for the divorce really helped me out a lot.
You wanted a divorce?
Well, when it comes to a married couple, they both have to work together to continue to a relationship, right? But you were asking me to do all this work by myself, get dinner ready for you before you got home from work, and have the bath ready for you. And that last time where you came home earlier than normal and still expected things to be made up for you, that was the last straw. I know you were only coming home early because they barely pay you anything, right?
Wait, hold on, what do you mean they barely pay me anything?
You always told me you were the one supporting me with all your money, right? But the money I had to use every month for the house and food primarily came out of my savings. About 70% of my savings would go into that. And that other 30%? Well, it had to go into things like the Wi-Fi and the TV bill. I was paying more for the house than you were even making from your job, is what it seemed to me.
Wait! You're lying, right? I was the one paying for all of that, right?
You think that the money you bring in could actually support 2 grown adults living in that house? From what I noticed, you only put around $400 into the house, and the rest you spent on yourself. And as for all the money I had saved up and was making part-time, it all went right into the house and nowhere else.
But that's absurd!
But I was still your wife at the time, and I told myself something like that was not cause for a divorce. So I made sure to keep living like that, thinking someday things between you and I would get better, and you'd start to care more about actually supporting the house. I really thought back then you would actually come around and start helping out again. My parents had to get a divorce, and I didn't want one as well because I thought that it would really sadden my mom, and that's why I stuck with it for so long with you. I really didn't want my mom to be upset with me, but look where we are now.
If you don't want her to be upset, then take back those divorce papers!
But when I really put some thought into it, my mom is far more sad about me not being happy when I'm around you. That's why I've gone with my gut feeling and chose a path that I won't regret later.
And you're telling me that choice was divorce?
Well, in your case, you don't love me anymore, right? Well, I wanted a new life for myself. One where I can start working full-time again and not have to waste all my money on the house each month. And I'm sure you wanted me gone as well after threatening me all those times. So see this divorce as a win-win for the both of us, okay? We both don't even love one another anymore, so why try and force something that's not there?
Are you sure you're okay with that? You're going to regret this!
Well, we had been at this for over 2 weeks, getting everything ready for the divorce, right? I already have all my things with me and everything. So you can do what you'd like in that house because I'll never be back.
Well, if you come running back to me wanting to get married again, don't expect a single reply from me, because I'm not getting back together with you. I don't care how much you regret and apologize for it. I'm not forgiving you. You're gonna learn just how unhappy life can be after a divorce. I had just come around to liking you as my wife, but now you've gone and ruined it for yourself, and you're really going to regret it. Hey, what does all of this mean? What are all these documents talking about?
Ah, you got those already? I had talked with a lawyer about things, and those are the documents he wanted sent to you.
A lawyer?
If you took a good read through them, then you'd probably already know this. But they are about the distribution of our properties, as well as a settlement I'd like from you.
I can understand things like the distribution of our things, but what's this about a settlement? If anything, I'm the one that's been wanting a settlement from you. You gave up your job as my wife.
That's not even something you can sue me for or get a settlement from me for though, right? I just happened to realize you are an awful person, and that's why I no longer wanted to love you anymore.
Ah! What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about that last straw. Remember the day you came home from the office at 7 p.m.? You told me you were on break and then told to go home because there was no more work for you to do, right?
That's what I told you, right?
Well, I was right to trust my gut like my mom said. Because when you said that to me, I had this feeling you had been cheating on me, and that's what led to the last straw and my love for you leaving me. So I went ahead and looked into things a little more, and you weren't told to leave work early. You took the later half of your day off work. You took the day off work so that you could go out with another woman on a date, right?
You looked into that? How far did you go?
Well, it took me 2 weeks to prepare me for the divorce we both wanted, right? And during that whole time, you continued to go out with another woman while I was at home preparing. I also happened to run into one of the women you'd been with, and she happens to be one of the new employees at your office, right?
So this is what's led you to want a settlement from me?
And I'm hoping to get all that money from you, as well as half of your savings in one payment, please. When my dad left my mom, he never left the family anything, not a single penny. So I'm doing as my mom told me, and that's getting every last penny out of you that I can before you have a chance to run away.
Hold on a second. I might have been out with some other women, but it was just for fun, all right?
That's odd. Because after I've been gone for the past week or so now, you've had one of the girls living in that house with you, right?
What? Why do you know about that?
I just happen to have a good friend that lives nearby to the house, and they have been watching you since the day I left. And they said the moment I had left and told you about the divorce, you had another woman in there right away and have been seen off by her every morning before you go to work, right?
Whoa, that's...
But the fact that you are both living together already has helped me a ton. I was able to figure out who she was, and now I can get a settlement from the both of you since she's been with you while you'd still been married to me.
This was all just for fun, though, so stop getting so worked up about it. Are you jealous that I have other women around me that I can sleep with or something? Well, if that's the case, I'll let you remarry me. You want to come back home now? I won't use any other women anymore, and we'll focus on you again.
Excuse me? Did you say use?
I started to use them for making food for me, and, well, after about 3 days of that, a lot of them, especially my main girl, would want to go out to dinner and stuff instead. And this one that's been living with me now doesn't even know how to cook. She doesn't even do the dishes either, so we've had to use paper plates. And when she does laundry, she'll toss my suit in the laundry machine as well.
Wow, that's amazing of her.
She told me she'd been living in her parents' house this whole time, and so she never had to do chores. But she said her mother taught her all kinds of things about chores. However, that was all a lie. So I really need someone else here that can get all that done for me, like you.
Well, what's so bad about the two of you staying together and both learning how to do the chores? I don't want to be back with you for any reason, so go ahead and learn how to be an adult.
No, you have to be lonely, right?
No, because I no longer have to deal with a child that complains about wanting to only eat what they want every single day. Right now, I'm able to use my time for myself. I can eat what I want, do what I want, go where I want, all without some jerk yelling in my ear about it. Being single is way better than I remember it.
You're lying, right?
I do not want to marry you again. And I do not regret getting that divorce one bit. As those documents have told you, I want my share of the properties we had, and I want that settlement from you paid in one payment, please. If you can do that for me, then I'll be able to finally cut ties to you completely.
Hold on. Okay, Monica, you and I had been married for a little while, right? Why did our marriage turn into something like this?
Can you take a look at all the messages you've texted me over the past few months and ask me that question again? Maybe even ask some people around you about what you've said to me and see what they think. Now, after this, everything is going to be left to my lawyer to handle, so please talk with him at some point this week.
You want me to talk with him now? Why can't I talk with you? Hey, Fia!
Kevin had burned through all his money on nights out with other women, completely neglecting our home and our relationship. He never truly invested time in being with me, choosing instead to spend on fleeting pleasures. Because of this reckless spending, he ended up with no savings at all. When it came time to pay me the settlement, he was forced to take out a loan just to cover it. The woman who moved in with him after I left thought Kevin would also pay her settlement, but he had no intention of doing so. Their relationship quickly turned sour, leading to frequent fights and ultimately a breakup. Left with no other options, she had to borrow money to pay me her share of the settlement. After losing everything, Kevin went around showing people the messages he had sent me, desperately hoping they would side with him. Instead, he was met with rejection and criticism. Most of the people he reached out to turned their backs on him, making his social circle shrink dramatically. At work, things have only gotten worse. His coworkers avoid him and refuse to engage, leaving him isolated in his cubicle for most of the day. He's stuck doing the bare minimum just to keep his job, but that's barely enough to cover the loan payments and the mortgage on the house. With mounting debt and no end in sight, Kevin has no choice but to keep working there. Recently, I heard he's been taking on more and more overtime shifts, pushing himself harder just to make some extra money to chip away at his debts. It's a hard, lonely existence for him now, a stark contrast to the reckless, carefree man he once was. Seeing how far he's fallen is a reminder that actions have consequences, and sometimes those consequences come crashing down when you least expect them. Kevin's story is a clear example of how poor choices and a lack of responsibility can lead to a life filled with regret and struggle.
Hey, Rihanna! Tomorrow we're going to my parents' house to formally announce our engagement. Make sure you book our flight tickets, okay?
Wait, what? Tomorrow? We just got engaged yesterday. Isn't that a little too soon?
Earlier's better. My parents have been bugging me for ages, asking when I'm finally gonna settle down. I want to give them peace of mind, you know? It'll make them happy.
I get that. Really, I do. But asking me to fly out tomorrow in the middle of the week? I have work, Darren. I can't just drop everything on a whim.
Then take the day off. What's the big deal? You're gonna quit your job once we're married anyway, right? You'll be a housewife, so what's one day off now?
Excuse me? Since when did I say I was quitting my job?
Isn't it obvious? My wife doesn't need to work. My family runs a company, and I'm set to inherit the business. I'll be the future CEO. You'll be by my side, supporting me like a proper wife should.
Darren, I don't think you understand. I worked hard to land my job. I've finally gotten into the flow. I love what I do, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I'm not just going to throw all that away.
That won't fly with my parents. No way in hell will they accept a career woman as their daughter-in-law. They expect their son's wife to be graceful, dedicated, and available. The kind of woman who puts family first, especially my family.
I didn't realize you and your family had such strict expectations. You never told me any of this before. I thought you liked that I was independent.
Sure, I like it for now, but we're talking about marriage here. It's not about what you want anymore. It's about what's best for us. And what's best is that you focus on being the kind of wife my parents approve of.
This is a lot to take in.
Anyway, make sure you dress properly tomorrow. My parents are super uptight about manners and appearances. No jeans, no casual wear. Got it? And bring a decent gift. You're meeting the people who raised a future
can't.
Hospital? What the hell for? You fell, that's it! Why are you making this into some kind of big dramatic event?
I didn't just fall. I tripped down the station stairs and fell all the way to the bottom. I broke both legs, Darren. This isn't a minor injury. I'm not just being dramatic.
What the hell is wrong with you? Today of all days? You stupid woman!
An elderly woman was struggling with a heavy bag in front of me. The station was packed and someone bumped into her. She lost her balance and I just reacted. I moved to catch her before she could fall. Instead, I took the brunt of it and tumbled down myself.
What? Are you serious right now? You risked everything for some random old hag? She's not even family. Why would you throw your life away for someone you don't know?
Because she needed help. Because no one else moved. Because she was helpless and scared and carrying far too much. Because I'm not the kind of person who looks the other way.
God, you really are a moron. So now, thanks to your hero complex, you're lying in a hospital bed like some kind of tragic comic relief character? All for some wrinkly grandma? You've gotta be kidding me.
You were laughing? You're actually laughing at me when I can't even stand up without pain, when I'm strapped to this bed with rods in both legs? You're not worried? Not even a little?
Why the hell should I be? You just blew off the most important meeting of our lives! My parents rearranged their entire day for this. My dad canceled board meetings, and my mom was already skeptical of you. Now she's gonna hate you!
This wasn't a choice, Ben. You think I wanted this? That I'd go out of my way to get injured and hospitalized just to avoid meeting your parents? You really think that little of me?
Look, I don't care what your excuse is. A no-show is a no-show. You let me down, you let them down. You think they're going to understand? You think they'll say, oh, that's okay, sweetie, just come whenever. No! They'll think you're irresponsible, weak.
I'm not weak. I just couldn't predict an accident.
If you really want their approval, if you actually want to be part of this family, you'll get up and get to the station now! Prove to them and to me that you're serious!
Are you seriously turning this into a test of love? After I risked my life to help someone and got hospitalized, you're accusing me of not loving you enough?
Do you not get what you've thrown away? I'm the heir to a company. My family owns the whole damn business, and I'm the only son. I'm the next CEO. Do you understand what that means?
What are you even talking about?
It means your future was secured. You were gonna be the CEO's wife, living a winning life beside me. All you had to do was come to my house yesterday and greet my parents properly. That's it! One afternoon of effort, and you would have had a future most women dream of. And you threw it away.
Threw it away. All I did was ask to reschedule. Your parents do know what happened to me, right? It wasn't some flippant decision. I was in a terrible accident. Any reasonable person would understand.
Oh, I told them, but that doesn't matter. The truth is, you bailed. Doesn't matter if it's because of a car crash or a hangnail, you didn't show up.
That's unbelievably cold.
My parents were furious. You think a simple explanation makes up for wasting their time? They cleared their entire schedule. You know how rare that is? My dad runs a company. My mom is the reason it hasn't collapsed under his weight. They're busy, Rihanna, and they still waited at home the whole damn day for us. You flaked. You embarrassed me.
I didn't flake. I was in a hospital ambulance.
It doesn't matter. They said they're done. They told me flat out she's not the one. A woman who cancels the most important meeting of her life and doesn't even send a proper apology? Not marriage material.
Are you breaking off the engagement?
Damn right I am. You embarrassed me. You ignored the most important day of our lives, and you showed me you don't have what it takes to stand beside me. I don't want a woman who lies in bed and cries about broken bones when she could be proving her love.
I can't believe this. Not once have you shown any concern about my injuries. Not a single word asking if I was okay. You didn't even ask if I was in pain. You've done nothing but berate me for missing a meeting.
You should have dragged yourself to the station. I would have respected that even if you had to crawl. But I guess your love's only skin deep.
That's disgusting. You're genuinely saying that if I'd crawled to the station with 2 broken legs, then you'd believe I loved you?
Exactly. That's the kind of devotion a future CEO's wife needs to have.
You're out of your mind and completely out of touch with reality.
Whatever. You had your shot, you blew it. My parents already made up their minds. They told me to drop you and move on. And honestly, they're right. You're not cut out for this life.
So that's it? No compassion, no forgiveness, just cold calculation. You are willing to walk away from everything we had over a single unavoidable accident?
You say accident, I say lack of priorities. What matters more, some wrinkled stranger or the man you're about to marry? You chose wrong. Helping that random grandma cost you everything. If you'd just let her fall, none of this would have happened.
You're seriously telling me I should have let her get hurt?
Damn right. What's one old lady's bruised hip compared to your entire future?
I don't even recognize you anymore. No empathy, no values, just selfish ambition. If this is who you really are, thank God I didn't make it to your parents' house.
You're just pissed because you lost your golden ticket. You were this close to hitting the jackpot. Now, you can go back to your pathetic little life. You'll never have a chance like this again.
I would never want a life like that if it meant I had to walk all over people to get it. You're a heartless man-child hiding behind your family's wealth and pretending it makes you powerful. You think being next in line makes you a king, but you've got nothing without compassion. And I'm done.
Whatever, you made your choice. Go cry in your hospital bed, Miss Morality. But don't expect me to come running back when you realize what you lost. It's over. You pissed off my parents, and they don't want to see you now.
Your parents? They're here, in the hospital room next to mine.
What?
I'll go ahead and let them know the engagement's off then. They were kind enough to say we could reschedule the marriage meeting. But now that I see how completely different our values are, I realize it's hopeless. Marriage between us? It'd be a disaster. It's better we break up before we go any further.
Wait, hold on. When you say your parents, you mean my parents?
That's right. Never thought the first time I'd meet your family would be in a hospital room, did you? I honestly expected them to be strict and cold based on how you talked about them. But they were incredibly warm and kind. They even brought a beautiful fruit basket when they came to visit. They were genuinely concerned about my injuries.
Wait, what the hell is going on? Why would my parents visit your hospital room? I told you they were furious with you yesterday. How do they even know where you're hospitalized?
Well, remember the elderly woman I helped yesterday? Turns out, she's your grandmother.
What? What the actual hell?
I couldn't believe it either. She was about to fall down a steep stairway, and I caught her in time, but ended up breaking both my legs in the process. She cried and thanked me endlessly, rode with me in the ambulance, stayed until I was stable. This morning, she came to visit again, and brought your parents along with her.
You're telling me the old lady you saved was Grandma, and she brought my parents to visit you?
Yep. Apparently, she knew about yesterday's marriage meeting. Your parents had told her. She was so excited to meet the woman her grandson was going to marry. She even prepared fruit and cakes and tried to surprise everyone by coming to your house unannounced. That's when she fell. Right when I happened to be passing by.
No way! That can't be real!
I wouldn't believe it either if I weren't the one lying here with both legs in casts. But that's what happened. And when I told them who I was and why I missed the marriage meeting, your parents were speechless. They confirmed the timeline with your grandmother, connected the dots, and then apologized.
Apologized? Dad apologized?
More than that, he came right up next to me and said, "Thank you for saving my mother." And then, right after that, he hugged me.
He what?
He knelt down in the middle of the hospital room floor. "I'm sorry for my foolish son," he said. "Please forgive us."
No freaking way. My dad did that?
If you had just explained the truth yesterday, I think they would have understood. But instead, you brushed it off, called it an excuse. You didn't defend me. You didn't even ask what happened. You just told them I flaked and started slandering me. No wonder they were angry.
But I didn't know it was Grandma!
You didn't need to know who it was. You should have just cared that I was injured, no matter the reason. Instead, you lied. You told them I always run late, that I'm irresponsible. You called me unreliable in front of your whole family.
Okay, look, I just panicked. I was afraid they'd think I was the one being rude if I said you bailed at the last second.
You panicked? You threw me under the bus to save face, and now you think I'd still marry you after you humiliated me and ignored the fact that I was lying in a hospital bed?
But you said my parents forgave the no-show, so we're good now, right? We don't have to break up!
Wow, you really don't get it. This isn't about forgiveness from your parents. This is about you. You didn't care. You didn't call. You didn't show concern. You just raged about a missed appointment. Why would I want to marry someone like that?
Come on, Rihanna! I'm the heir to a successful company! You're really gonna give up a life of luxury over something like this?
I don't care about marrying into money. If that's the only thing a relationship offers, it's not worth anything.
Wait, are you serious?
You're obsessed with image. You kept comparing me to your ex, too. I was sick of it. If she's so great, go marry her. You clearly still want to.
Fine, I will! She always loved me anyway. She probably still does. Don't come crying to me when I'm happily married and successful.
Do what you want, but if you marry her, be prepared to be cut off. Your parents hate her, especially your mom. Ben, this is your mom. I'm disgusted with you.
Mom? You're talking now too?
I was the one who told Rihanna the engagement could be postponed. I thought maybe you were just under stress, but this, hiding the truth, refusing to defend her? How dare you let your fiancé be blamed like that?
But she did miss the meeting!
You ungrateful brat! She broke both legs, saving your grandmother's life! Do you have any idea what kind of person risks themselves like that for a stranger?
But I didn't know it was Grandma!
It doesn't matter who it was. She saw someone in trouble and chose to help, and you saw someone you supposedly loved and chose to abandon.
But...
Don't even start. You're just like that wretched ex of yours. Do you remember the day we all went out as a family? I nearly got hit by a drunk driver crossing the street. And do you know what she said when I barely escaped? Too bad. You were this close. She saw the car coming and said nothing.
What?
That woman, she had no respect, no decency, no humanity, but you still defended her like a fool.
I mean, would you please marry me? I want you to be my wife. I realize now there's no one else I want, only you!
That's interesting. Weren't you bragging just a few weeks ago that you'd be marrying the most beautiful ex-girlfriend you've ever had? Didn't you say she was still crazy about you and that she'd take you back in an instant?
Okay, yeah, I thought that, but things didn't exactly go the way I expected.
Oh, really? Let me guess. She's dating someone else?
Yeah, She's with some other guy now, and get this, he's apparently richer than me. I asked her to come back to me, and she just laughed in my face, said she's not interested in a broke ex-boyfriend. Her words, not mine.
Oof, must be rough. So, he's richer than you. What are we talking here? Son of a CEO? Royalty? Mob boss?
He's the CEO himself. Some older guy, like way older. Gray hair, suit, the whole package. Apparently she thinks he's a better catch than me. Said she's marrying him before the year ends and told me not to contact her again.
So she really has no lingering feelings for you. Wow, and here I thought you were her irreplaceable first love.
Don't rub it in, okay? I've already lost enough. Even my parents, when I told them about everything, were cold. They basically told me to grow up, and they said I'll never be made company president. Never! No matter how many times I ask!
Oh, so now you've lost your trophy girl and your golden path to the top? Suddenly you're realizing the consequences of how you treat people?
Look, I didn't call to fight. I called because I realized something important. I had it all in front of me, and I threw it away. You're the one who stood by me. You're the one my grandmother likes, for crying out loud.
Ah, yes, your grandmother. Lovely woman, by the way. She's been visiting me at the hospital every day, brings fresh fruit, keeps me company. Her stories are hilarious.
Exactly! See? She adores you! No one ever clicks with her that fast. She's picky! Used to run the family company before retiring, and she's no pushover. But you, she's practically calling you her favorite. If you marry me, she'll probably convince my parents to reconsider and make me president one day. So please, let's go back to what we planned. Marry me. We can fix this together.
Let me ask you something. What exactly is in it for me?
What?
I mean, what do I gain by marrying a self-absorbed, opportunistic ex-boyfriend who only crawled back after being dumped and rejected by everyone else? Does that sound like a good deal to you?
Come on, don't be like that. I'll make sure you're happy. I'll never let you struggle financially, I swear. You won't have to worry about anything ever again.
You think I care about that? You think happiness is money and empty promises? I already have happiness, without you in it. Your grandmother's visits reminded me what real warmth and sincerity look like. It made me... reputation didn't take long to spill over into Ben's professional life. A few weeks later, Ben received word from his company. He was being transferred, not just to another department, but to a remote rural post. Essentially corporate exile. It was a demotion in everything but title. Apparently, ever since Ben had started working at that company, he had carried himself with an air of entitlement. He had openly bragged that it was only a temporary gig until he took over the family business. Because of that, he barely put any effort into his job. His coworkers tolerated him with gritted teeth, and his managers only held back because of his powerful last name. But when it became clear that he had lost the right to inherit the family business, that his own parents had cut him off completely, he panicked. He suddenly tried to make up for lost time, working with desperation to prove himself, but it was too late. Having never taken the job seriously before, he lacked the skills and awareness needed to keep up. He made mistake after mistake, causing problems for his team, forcing others to clean up after him and damaging his already frail reputation further. In the end, the company had no choice but to ship him off somewhere remote, where he could do the least harm. He wasn't fired, but it was clear to everyone that he was no longer being considered for any meaningful position. As for me, things have been looking up. My injuries are healing steadily, and the doctors say that I'm making excellent progress. I still attend physical therapy regularly, but I've regained a lot of mobility and strength. The kind older woman who saved me during the incident continues to check in on me, often bringing beautiful assortments of fresh fruit, carefully arranged like something out of a gourmet catalog. She insists it's nothing, but her kindness brings warmth to my heart every time she visits. And thanks to Ben's parents, who, perhaps out of guilt or gratitude, spoke directly with my company, I was granted a generous leave of absence. There was no pushback, no bureaucratic headache, just understanding, patience, and full support. I never thought I'd be thanking Ben's family for anything, but they truly came through when it mattered. Even so, I hold no illusion that things are magically resolved. What Ben did was unforgivable, not just to me, but to himself. His downfall was of his own making, built on years of arrogance, carelessness, and disrespect. He thought the world owed him something, that people like me would always be waiting in the wings for his attention. But life doesn't work that way. I don't know where Ben is now. Maybe he settled into his new assignment in that remote town. Maybe he's still blaming everyone else for the mess he's in. Or maybe, just maybe, he's starting to realize what he's lost and why. As for me, I'm focused on rebuilding. Slowly but surely, I'm putting the pieces of my life back together. And though I still carry scars, both physical and emotional, I also carry with me the strength I found through it all. I have people who care about me, a job that supports me, and a future I'm finally starting to look forward to again.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.